Hello everyone, my name is Tibi and I'm the guy who came up with the idea to raise a little extra funds through the next asset. Nobody actually knows me, I'm a new face to the community. The reason for that is that if I have nothing to say, then I don't speak. It's that simple. I believe it's time for me to speak up. Everybody knows my identity by now because, well, I shared my details. As many of you have noticed by now, I am a concept developer by day and a funds manager / trader by night, if you can call it that. Which means I have a little bit of experience with investing. Now, I've been in the next community, if you can call it being in the community, for quite some time. What I'm actually saying is that I had the next platform almost from the beginning, and I've been watching its progress, and I've been in the asset exchange from the beginning. Now, to explain the asset exchange, what an asset is, it's basically a company. You can call it that. Let's say that I want to create a little bit of a Bitcoin mining business, why not? And of course, I need the funds to do so. So what happens in this case, I create an asset on the exchange, right? And I tell people, okay, this is my plan, this is what I want to do. Please buy into my assets so I can raise the funds to start my little mining business. So in this case, for example, I make 1 million assets. Actually, I make one asset made out of 1 million shares, worth 1 next each. Why not? People will start buying into the asset, and I start raising funds. And of course, I always keep in touch with the community in this case, and post my progress on the forum. So what happens next is I start buying the mining gear. Then I set it up and then it starts producing. Next step is once the first income comes in from the mining business, I have to of course share it with the asset holders. So practically if I make, let's say, 1 Bitcoin per week, in that 1 week I divide the 1 Bitcoin into 1 million pieces, because that's how many shares I've given out. And of course everybody gets their fair share according to how many shares they own. Concept is pretty basic, pretty simple. I've actually been a part of a couple of small mining businesses from May, I believe. And well, I'm a shareholder. I never actually owned a mining business, and I'm never going to. But the deal is that they've been bringing a nice weekly income of about 5% per week. And I'm stating this again, it's per week, 5%, and not per month, right? Which means that from May and up till now, I doubled my return on investment. Practically, right now, I'm enjoying the free ride and the weekly dividends. Apart from that, all the dividends that I've been getting, I reinvested. And I bought into other small ventures and whatever I thought was relevant at that point. Deal is that when I started out, I had 1,000 next in my wallet, which was $20, and by reinvesting the funds now I have somewhere close to 8,000 6 months later, which is not bad. Now in our case we would also issue an asset, right? But our shares wouldn't bring a dividend because we're not a business that sells stuff or produces anything. We're a charity, for fuck's sake. And this needs to be explained from the beginning to the people who will be buying into the asset. So practically, the people that are buying shares in the asset are donating. Now, what happens with the money is a little bit different. Now comes the time when we have to think outside the box. What I'm suggesting is all the money raised by selling our shares gets reinvested into other assets that I already know bring a nice stable dividend each week. Now, at the end of the week, when dividends get paid out, what I'm suggesting is that we keep 50% and reinvest, and the other 50%, of course, gets paid out to the Bitcoin fund. This is a long-term strategy. What I'm trying to achieve by this is that by, let's say, this time next year, we have a nice little portfolio, diversified, of course. I'm not going to put all our money in one basket. And I'm hoping that that will bring a nice, stable weekly income. I can't give a number, unfortunately, because I don't know how much money we will raise. Hopefully we sell everything. But yeah, we'll see. Bottom line is that what I want to do by this is not have to rely on donations from people. The way I imagine making a difference is by creating a nice, stable source of income. How much that income will be, we'll see. But I'm hoping it's going to be, by this time next year, a couple $100 each week. This way we can ensure stability and continuity. So in case we don't manage to raise any funds by donations one particular week, it's not necessarily a problem because we have money pouring in from the next asset. So I hope what I explained makes sense. Over time, of course, our portfolio will keep growing, and so will the dividends, and so will the money that we can take out. And of course, imagine how much we will be able to help if we have a nice, stable source of income. I discussed with Jessica Hartman over the idea, and she has full access to the wallet right now. How many of you will have access to the wallet? I don't know. I'm going to let Jessica decide on this. The reason why I'm giving access to the wallet is that I want somebody to check up on me, so to speak, so I don't raise any suspicion. And of course, I want to be able to discuss where we put the money and how we do it. I think that's the bottom line. I already put in 1,500 next into the wallet. I used 500 to buy into an asset that I already know brings a very nice dividend. It's actually the asset that I talked about, the one that's been producing money from me. And of course, as the mining business grows in that particular asset, so do the dividends, which is very nice. Just to give you a general idea, in the beginning, the asset was sold for about 25 next, I believe, and it brought somewhere around 1 point something next each week. Right now, it brings somewhere around 4 next per week, and the value of the asset itself has doubled. So not only that I got double the return on investment and I'm getting a generous amount of money every week, but the value of the asset itself has also doubled. So if you think about it this way, the 8,000 next that I have right now could actually be considered as 16,000 in value if all my assets have doubled by now. I don't know if all of them doubled. So yeah, that could be a nice way for us to raise some money and use the money to think a little bit different. I think from this point of view, we're going to be the first charity that acts as a holding company on the side, which I don't know if it's been done before, but hopefully we're going to be pioneering the field from this point of view. Now what happens is that I have 1,000 next set aside, as I said, and I'm ready to issue the asset whenever the community decides that we're ready to do so. The 1,000 is a tax that we have to pay for an asset issuing. Sorry for the bad English, it's actually my third language. So yeah, whenever you guys decide that we're ready to go, we can go ahead with it. Now, what I'm proposing for the asset is that we have 1 billion shares that we're going to be selling for 1 next each. Many will think that holy mother of 1 billion shares is too much, but the deal is that we're going to be raising money till the end of time, right? So might as well issue 1 billion. What's the point of issuing, let's say, 10,000 shares, and then we have to create a new asset with 10,000 more when they're sold, and then a new asset and a new asset and so on and so forth. We'll just be inflating the asset exchange with a bunch of assets that, we're going to be inflating the lists, if I may say that. So might as well go ahead with 1 billion assets, see how much we can sell, and of course over time we're going to be selling more and more and more. And yeah, another cool feature is that if, let's say, an asset issuer, let's say the mining business that I bought into, would like to donate to us, they can not only donate Next itself, practically buying into our asset, but they can also donate shares. So if they have any shares available and they don't feel like donating Next directly, they can donate shares to us, which automatically start producing money, which I think is awesome. Now, Jessica asked me at one point how we can give more transparency to the community and, remove the trust issues. Cool feature about Next is that if you share the wallet address, anybody can look into it, see how much money you have into it, see what assets you own, and so on and so forth. So people can actually see our growth rate, see how much of our own asset we sold and how much money we raised. And of course we will give weekly updates on how much money we actually took out to give. Would be nice if the guys from Keypod would also give a couple of statements, let's say once a month or something, to say, okay, we bought this much Keypod, and raise a little bit of extra credibility. It's going to be an interesting road if we go ahead with it. I would actually love to get started as soon as possible. So if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, I'm open. You can always contact me on the board. You have my LinkedIn, you have my Skype, I believe, as well. If not, I'm going to post it on the board anyway. So feel free to ask away and discuss. And as I said, I hope we can start creating and issuing the asset as soon as possible. And I'm going to keep discussing with Jessica, because she's a direct contact on Skype right now. And come up with a little bit of a business plan and strategies. So more to come. I hope I managed to convince you about the potential of what I'm trying to do here. and with your help we can turn this into reality. Yeah, I think that about concludes it. Thank you for watching the video, and thank you for believing in what I have to propose. Have a nice day, evening, or whatever it is in your time zone. Yeah, bye.